Today we're here to install a satellite dish heater on a slimline dish, and we are determining whether we want to put the heater on the front or the back. If we put it on the front, it would stick to the face of the dish here, and it has its heating element that would go in a thermostat that goes on here. And if we did that, it would look kind of something like this. We have the heating element here that has paper on the back that we would pull off, and it would stick to the face of the dish. And if we did that, it would sit on the dish, something like this here, and we would set that up. It has poles already in the heating element here, so that way it does not interfere with the face bolts on here, so it can be stuck to the face. And it has the thermostat, and you have your connections here for your power. But today we're going to install it on the back to show you how to do that. And you can come on over here and you can see what we're doing. On the back of the dish, it has 4 separate bolts here that hold the reflector in place. And what we will be doing today is taking these 4 bolts off. And when we take that off, it will not change the adjustments on the dish, so you do not have to worry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to proceed in taking the bolts off of the back of the dish. When you do that, you may have to come around and hold the bolt on the front while you're taking the nut off of the back here. So we will do that on 4 of them. And I just dropped the bolt, or the nut, that's all right, I see it. And we'll come along and we'll take off the next one here. And we'll take all 4 of these off. Take that off and come around here and take these other ones off as well. You can see we're just taking these off here, and it just takes a little bit of time to do that. Take off this, take the nut off of here, or the bolt off of here. And we've got one more to go here. Take this one off here. And that one off there. Now we have the reflector that's off. And you can see the back of the reflector. And we can see we have not changed any of the adjustments on the actual settings of the dish itself. So next thing we want to do is we want to set the reflector upside down and put the heating element on. Now we have our reflector here. The thing about this is you want to make sure that it's nice and clean and that it's dry before applying the heating element to the unit there. So we've already done that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set our heater on there. As you can see, our hole pattern matches up, so that way the bolts continue to go through, so we don't have a problem like that with the heater. And the next thing we want to do is we want to take the heating element and pull that upside down, and we want to take our paper, that's the backing off of it, off of the back there. We want to take the first piece of paper off. And I actually like to take it like that, so we don't try to put the whole thing on all at once, so it doesn't stick, too badly there. You got to be like a little patient here. You get your holes to line up again. Patient here. So we've got our first part of it on there. And we want to come over here, pull the paper off of the other half of it here. Once you get that on there, you'll want to push the bubbles out of the sticker here, which is the heating element. You just want to get the center part in first. Once you get the center part on, you just have to kind of pull up, very lightly, wherever you've got bubbles, and then, push those out, each section at a time. You just pull that out there, and then once you have the center in place, then what you do is you take each one of these wings here, or extra part of the heating element. It has the paper still attached to it, so you'd be pulling off the paper one section at a time. What I find out is you pull the paper out like this, and you pull pat it down as you're coming down the dish to make a good connection to the dish, so it sticks well, and you do each one of these sections the same way. Pull out those air bubbles. If you get a little air bubbles in there, it's not going to hurt it. And just do another section. One section at a time. Just take your time doing it. And this is a lot easier to do it on the ground than it is trying to put it on the face of the dish while you're on a ladder, or even if you're on the ground trying to do it, because when it's laying like this, you have more control over the sticker as you're putting it on. You can see how nicely that goes right in place, right there. It's right there. Right on. We're almost there. Getting in pretty quick. In the wintertime, I would, when you have snow or anything on the dish, I would recommend just taking the dish reflector off and putting it on instead of trying to put it out on the dish, because you're able to get it out of the weather, and when you're out of the weather, it works better. That on there. Clear out of there. Away we go. The next one. One more. Sometimes it's paper, so I have good fingernails to get it off. In any case, there we go right there. Once we get that off, you can see how easy that is. That's your thermostat, your heating element. And on your wires here, you have two separate wires. You have one that says optional accessories on here, which goes to an extra heating element that heats the arm of the dish. In some areas, that would be preferable to have to keep the snow off. And then you have the the second connection here, which is your 24-volt AC power supply, which is the line that goes into your house that actually powers up the thermostat. So when you hook it up, you got to make sure that you put on the correct one. If not, you will wind up keeping the heater on if you plug it into the accessory, and it won't shut off, so it will not function properly. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to install this back onto the mount of the dish.